Soundcast.
This is a Village Soundcast Network original production.
This is Less Than Live with Kate or Die, a bi-weekly podcast about comics from all angles. I'm going to talk to you about what I'm reading and doing in the industry, as well as interviewing some of my friends and favorite creators. So come along with me on this journey into geek culture. On today's show, we're catching up with a plethora of wonderful new comics January had to offer, and then it's a very special interview with Sex Criminals artist Chip Zdarsky and creator of me as a person, my mom. Well, hi everybody. It's been a while, hasn't it? I went to Los Angeles for a month and we didn't do a show, and I'd like to make some kind of excuse, but I basically played Dragon Age and made out with my boyfriend and had a really good time. And I'm sorry that there wasn't an episode, but we have recorded several. We have plans to do a bunch in my return to the frozen and horrible north, and we're going to make it worth your time and your love. So I'm here and I'm back, and I have been working my butt off. In the month of February, I have hopefully 2 comics out. The 29th issue of Bravest Warriors is coming out, and that is a one-shot that is about the Littlest Warriors. It's basically a story of Danny's birthday when they're all kids at a old money-themed Chuck E. Cheese-esque establishment called Walden P. Walrus, and it is hopefully going to be a ton of fun. Well, I know it's going to be a ton of fun because Ian's art is amazing, and there's a ball pit, and it's great. Also, Edward Scissorhands #4 should be out this month. We don't know when. Every time I check, it's different, but I'm sure if you tell your local comic bookery that you would like Edward Scissorhands #4, they can help you out with that. What have I been doing? What have you been doing? I don't know. It's a really personal question. I've been writing a lot, and I was away and planning a whole bunch of projects for this year. It's this crazy time post-Christmas where everyone in the comics world is catching up on everything they did not do over Christmas. And even though now we're into February, I still feel like a lot of people are playing catch-up. So there's been that. Plus Dragon Age Inquisition has eaten up an enormous percentage of my life, and it is so good. But now that I am back in Canada and the copy of it is with my paramour in Los Angeles, I have to wait and actually do work.
Kate's having a contest and you might win. Lots of great prizes for you and your kid. Why don't you enter? You never know, you just might win, 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 win. The Great Kate Comic Contest!
Here at the show, we have been getting a ton of submissions and awesome submissions for our contest. And that contest is, it's a ton of fun if you enjoy taking pictures of yourself, which I certainly do. It is a contest where you submit a photo of yourself listening to Less Than Live, which I believe you can do if you have more than one camera in your life, or if you have a camera on your computer that can take a picture of you listening to your iPhone or whatever. I don't, there's cameras and everything these days. So if you want to contribute to our contest, you can. You can send a photo of yourself listening to the show or get creative with that idea, interpret it as you wish. Obviously, we're looking for creativity and inventiveness in these submissions, and you can send them to us on Twitter at LTLcast, or even better, you can send them to us at lessthanlivewithkateordie@gmail.com. We need to have some kind of a mailing address, because if we pick you as a winner, not only do you get to have a brief guest spot on the air, or if you're shy, we can do a private interview. But you might get a cool gift pack of comics catered to your personal interests. I'll talk to you, I'll see what you're into, and I'll be like, nah, you'd like this, and send you some stuff. So that's really, really awesome, and that's been kind of going on behind the scenes, and we've been working with that, and yeah, there's been some pretty crazy and ridiculous images sent to us. So thank you, everybody, and continue to send them in. We will be cutting off the applications within the week or so, and we will announce the winner on the next episode. So if you are listening to this, it's very early in February, and if you wanted to submit, do it. Like, do it now. Like, do it today. Like, put down the phone and pause it. And, well, I mean, you could be listening to it because that's the picture. Anyway, you know what I mean. So do that, and we'll look them over, and there'll be a big segment for that on our next exciting episode. Yeah, it's pretty much been a month of catching up on comics. A ton of cool new stuff has been coming out from Image, as is the regular. Image Expo happened and a whole bunch of really cool projects were announced. I can't even begin to name them all. I am extremely excited for Paper Girls, the series that was announced from Brian K. Vaughan and Cliff Chang, who are like two of my favorite people. I could hardly even believe that they were working together. It's a dream team for me. I mean, Brian K. Vaughan is the author of Saga and Pride of Baghdad, and Cliff Chang was the most recent artist of the revamped New 52 Wonder Woman with Brian Azzarello. And Cliff's work has been, I've loved his stuff for a really, really long time. So I'm super excited about that. It's great. More work from Scott Snyder. A ton of projects were announced. And Chip Zdarsky, who we talked to a little bit later in the show, announced a new series with Keiko McLeod called Kaptara, which we will talk more about. And it's just going to be really great. So a lot of that happened while I was away, and I got excited about it and spent some time at my LA regular shop secret headquarters, picking up things and basically enjoying the sun. Because, oh my God, it's a horrible frozen nightmarescape where we are. But what have I been reading? Let's get to that.
What is Kate reading?
What am I reading now?
What is Kate reading?
What am I reading now? So we've been away for a month, and obviously a lot of things have come out. So I tried to boil it down to the few things that I've picked up that really stuck out, or series that I'm really getting into as I'm reading them. But before I get into that, I would like to recommend that if you are a person who enjoys the internet, which I think are most of us, take a look at Hourly Comics Day. Now, when I'm recording that, it was 2 days ago. February 2nd, I think this year was Hourly Comics Day, Super Bowl Sunday. And what Hourly Comics Day is it was created by John Campbell about a decade ago. And it is the tradition of, if you are a cartoonist, drawing a comic for every hour that you are awake. And people post them online. And originally it was posted on a message board, but the thing has kind of exploded and grown far beyond the reach of a sort of small community activity to a thing that people all over the world and in all different aspects of cartooning participate in. And you can find them online. You can look up Hourly Comics or Hourlies. And, the different search methods that you use will find different comics. But there's so many incredible ones. And people from every level of comics and cartooning participate in it, and they're so much fun. I love autobiographical comics. It's how I got started, and Kate Beaton has done a bunch of them, not this year, but in previous years, and I always really, really loved the idea of them, and every year different people participate, and this year there were some really great ones. Emily Carroll, who I talk about nearly always, and she did some really, really great ones. There's a girl named Sam who goes under the name of Boom and has a comic called Boomeries. That's Boumeries, and she did some amazing ones, a lot of them involving her wonderful daughter Margot. So those are really great. Raina Telgemeier of the constantly best-selling graphic novels Smile and Drama and Sisters did some really fun ones. My friend Caroline Breault did some. That's Breault. And those are really great. My friend Matt Cummings did some too. Lauren Jordan. Tons of people. Like basically anyone that you might follow online who's into comics that wasn't under a deadline or traveling did Hourly Comics. And it's something that you probably saw if you're involved in that sphere of social media. It kind of trickles down. But if not, definitely look them up because it's a ton of fun. In terms of printed comics, so much stuff is coming out. There's so much good right now. And I think there's so much announced for this year, and I love comics. I love comics so much. Right now, I'm really, really loving a couple of titles. Now, next episode, we are going to be talking to Ryan North and Erica Henderson of Squirrel Girl, The Unbeatable Squirrel Girl, which is the new series from Marvel. It's a revamp on an older character, and I cannot recommend it highly enough. Ryan North is one of my favorite people and has been writing his webcomic Dinosaur Comics for over a decade, in which he uses the same set of pieces of dinosaur-based clip art and changes the text. He's a writer, and so this was his way of making comics without illustrating, basically. And it's brilliant, and for 5 days a week over a decade, the fact that every single one of his comics is hilarious just goes to show how incredibly brilliant Ryan is. And he did the first 35 issues of Adventure Time from Boom Studios, and they are all incredible. And now he's writing The Unbeatable Squirrel Girl, and I cannot remember the last time, other than reading Sex Criminals, that I've laughed so much at a single issue of a print comic. I was in LA when I read it and sort of took my sit down at a super overpriced coffee shop and opened up Squirrel Girl and lost my mind. I did a piece for Comics Alliance basically about how awesome Erica Henderson's drawings of butts are. And I totally stand by it because they're amazing. Erica is somebody I also really love. She's part of this same crew of artists in and around Somerville, Massachusetts, that is just, they're so great. I mean, she's friends with Mink Doyle and Joe Quinones and Maris Wicks and all these guys. They're so great, and all of them are so talented, and I'm so happy that she's working on this title and getting the recognition that she totally deserves. So it's really, really great. Definitely pick up The Unbeatable Squirrel Girl #1, and we'll talk about it a lot more next episode, but I just want to get you prepped, because if you're not ready, get ready. It's so good. On a totally different note, let's talk about the filth-named titles. Sex Criminals #10, Chip Zdarsky is coming up later on the episode, and he is delightful. It's he and Matt Fraction's 10th issue of their sex romp, and it is real sad. Issue 10 is really sad. Deals a lot with depression and mental health issues, and it's great, but like there's still the hilarious dildo jokes that you could expect, but also some really deep stuff that had me kind of sitting down and going, whoa. Shit. Which, if a comic can't give you that, why would you read it? I'm just kidding. Squirrel Girl doesn't have any. Anyway, Bitch Planet #2 from Kelly Sue DeConnick and Valentine DeLandro is that comic is a hell of a comic. I cannot believe what a giant, sparkly, glaring middle finger to the patriarchy that comic is. And every time I read it, I think that Kelly Sue's going to pull punches or file down the corners, not because I think that of her, but because I think that's what I would do, because you have that fear of the backlash of people not all menning you and doxing you and burning down your house. So every time I read it, it makes me want to be more real and honest and less afraid making art. And you know, I don't know how else to say it without saying it like that. It's so good and so raw and so needed, and I just really love it. So if you're interested in reading a comic about a prison colony in space for women who are deemed not compliant enough to be part of polite society, you should check it out because it's really, really great. The Kitchen #3 came out, which is from Ollie Masters and Ming Doyle, with amazing covers by Becky Cloonan. And that is a story that I've talked about a little bit before, of 1970s wives of crime bosses and criminals, basically, who take over their beat when they're all sent to jail. Keeps getting rougher, keeps getting tougher, and the women in it keep getting more interesting. So I'm pretty into this series. I'm pretty keen to see where it goes because it looks like stuff could go pretty far off the rails. And Ming Doyle's art, obviously, is second to none. Jordi Belair is coloring that. Jordi Belair is also coloring They're Not Like Us, which is an incredibly promising new series from Image. It's Eric Stevenson and Simon Gain is drawing it. Some really gorgeous stuff about basically an X-Men without morals. It's a super team that has similar powers, telekinesis, and, you know, the ability to influence thoughts. Mutant powers of a sort, but they just fuck with people and they don't care, and they'll do whatever they want because they're better than everyone else. And a girl with overwhelming telepathic abilities that she's unable to control is taken in by this group, and without spoiling anything, her, you know, morals clash with theirs. So it's very interesting. Absolutely beautiful. The design of the book itself, the last page of the first issue, you're like, oh, damn. So check that out. Really, really beautiful. Rumble is a great new series from John Arcudi and James Herron. I talked about issue 1 last time, but it's keeping up. It's some really cool stuff. The demon design in this book is really awesome. It's one of those kind of ordinary guy in extraordinary circumstances books, but the art style is very cool. And yeah, it just some fun supernatural fantasy within, a real world setting. So that is very, very cool. Gotham Academy number 4 came out from Becky Cloonan, Carl Kerschel, Brandon Fletcher. Everybody. There's a lot of names on that cover, and they are all wonderful people. This comic is super great. Occasionally finding it linearly a little hard to keep up with. No offense, guys. I love you. But it's really, really neat. I'm saying really a lot this episode, aren't I? I really, really love comics. Gotham Academy is a mystery boarding school, kind of supernatural Gotham story, and there may or may not be ghosts. So look into it because it's pretty rad. And, it's fun to have a story of characters and girls that you might not normally see spearheading a comic. So that's really awesome. Also picked up outside of normal publication, but Frontier number 6, which is a series put out by Youth in Decline where every issue is done by a different artist. This is a small publisher. It's independent stuff. So Emily Carroll did issue 6, and it is a story about Anne Under the Bed, which is part history, part urban legend story from Ontario. And it's something that I actually knew about growing up, and it's very, very spooky, as you would expect from Emily Carroll, but a great kind of one-and-done story. And the whole Frontier series is really cool. Each issue spotlights a different creator, a different cartoonist, and they're very, very great. So definitely look those up. Frontier from Youth in Decline. I read a lot. I can't get to everything. The interview that we did this episode is a long one. It's an exciting one. I talked to Chip Zdarsky of Sex Criminals, of Howard the Duck, of the upcoming, Howard the Duck is also upcoming, but also of the upcoming Captara with Kagan McLeod. Howard the Duck is going to be with Joe Quinones, and Sex Criminals is with Matt Fraction. I've wanted to talk to Chip for a while, and I finally got him this episode, and I figured if I'm going to do it, I might as well rope in the person he is always talking to me about, which is my mom. So we'll get to that in just a second. It's a real weird one, but it's really fun.
Are you ready for this? Kate needs a pension, needs a Porsche, needs some Prada. Kate wants a yacht to party with kaiju in the water. Needs some Gucci and Armani, she's a real fashion monster. So have a listen to our sponsor.
In case you haven't heard, Less Than Live has launched a Patreon. If you want to know what that is, good news, I'm going to tell you. A Patreon is a monthly subscription service or kind of a crowdfunding platform where if you like this show, you can support it financially with money, which is really great because this show it costs a little bit of money to make. We do it in a real recording studio, and the guys here make those amazing songs. And everything that I'm saying right now, you can watch me say better and with video on the actual Patreon page. It is patreon.com/lessthanlive. And there you can find out what it's all about. So pretty much you can choose an amount of money, if you're interested, to pledge to us monthly. And for those specific amounts of money at different levels and different amounts, you will get different rewards. You can get a voicemail message from me. You can subscribe to get a biannual package of goodies and swag. You can have advance access to what guests we're going to have on the show, to ask questions, and these things are going to change and develop as we go along, and we're going to invent new things, and I just really want to make it kind of a cool, interactive, behind-the-scenes experience, and to show, people who do subscribe and who do support the show a little bit extra, and get you all involved. So you can check that out, again, at patreon.com, that's patron with an E in it, /lessthanlive, and donate a little bit of money. If you want, that'd be cool.
Kate's gonna interview you. Kate's gonna interview you now. She's gonna ask a question. Kate's gonna interview you. Kate's gonna interview you now. This is the interview section.
All right, so we are back, and this week we are talking to a dear friend of mine, Chip Zdarsky, who is the artist of Sex Criminals and also the upcoming Kaptara from Image Comics. Hi, Chip.
Hey, I'm just in the middle of my workout.
Okay, cool. How's that going?
It's good. Yeah.
Cool.
A second. I'm just finishing up. Like, you don't want to interrupt a workout,
No, I understand.
or else you get there or something.
Yeah.
Oh,
No, I feel it. What are you doing?
oh,
Are you lifting?
it just stretches.
Pressing? Stretches.
Just stretches.
Well,
yeah.
why are you making
Yeah.
those sounds then?
That's you don't when you stretch.
Those were like heavy lifting sounds.
Well, that's how I stretch.
Oh, okay. All right. Well,
I go hard.
that's okay. That's
I
fine.
go hard. I go hard.
I get it.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Sweaty, obviously.
Yeah.
That was a little intense, but
Do you want to describe it? I mean, obviously, this is like an auditory medium.
Well, it's like it's glistening.
Yeah.
And it's dribbling. Is
Okay.
that a sexy word? Dribbling?
I think it depends on the context.
Yeah, it's dribbling down the contours of my body, but it kind of stops at my gut.
Okay.
Is
Is it
my
acting
gut's-
as like a shelf?
Yeah, that's exactly.
Okay.
It's like a bit of a glistening sweat shelf.
Good.
And, yeah,
Good.
and it just stays there until like it evaporates, like out in the sun.
Okay.
Like if I just go back to work right now, it's just
Mhm.
like a sweat shelf right there,
Okay.
and I actually have to go outside.
But question is there sun where you are?
No, that's the thing. So this is here all night.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
This is here all night.
Showering's
so,
not an
yeah.
option?
No, if you shower, you do away with all the work you did working out.
Okay.
Everyone knows that.
Okay.
What's
That's
wrong
cool.
with you?
No, I don't know. I'm not as physically fit.
I don't know how they do it in LA. Everyone's like super fit.
They actually are. It's
Yeah.
kind of weird.
Yeah.
It's weird. Los Angeles is
I was
very-
there once.
It's very strange. You definitely feel like you have accidentally wandered onto a photo shoot a lot of the time, just like at the grocery store.
It's very, very pretty.
Everyone's so pretty.
Yeah, and everyone drives.
Yeah, which I don't.
No, same here.
Oh, yeah? That
Did I
makes
ever
me feel
tell
really
you?
good.
Did I ever tell you about the time I went to LA?
No.
So I don't know if you recall this thing I did a long time ago. The Petals Fall Twice.
No.
It's like this one page of erotica.
Okay.
I did a one page series of jokes. Well, I did one of those and it took off, and then I got a call from Fox Animation, basically saying, "Hey, we like that. You're funny, and it turns out you can also draw. Maybe you should pitch us TV shows." I'm like, "Oh, okay, sure." So I put together a bunch of pitches, and we went back and forth. And they're like, "Oh, you should come on out to LA." I'm like, "Yeah, I'll do that." But obviously, when I'm there, I don't drive. But I had to meet them on the Fox lot, which is just like kind of like the lots from like Pee-wee's Big Adventure,
Yeah.
where you burst through the security gate, and it's like a walled city.
Mm-hmm.
So because I don't drive, a taxi dropped me off in front of the lot. I just kind of waited out in the sun for my time. And then I got in line with the cars as if I was like a teenager
Yep.
going through like a McDonald's drive-through after hours.
Mm-hmm.
And so I just like move along with the cars and like make kind of jokey beeping sounds. And the security guard wasn't really happy with me. But yeah. And so, yeah, I got in there and I had a meeting, and then it took about 15 minutes to realize that they just wanted me to redo Family Guy.
Oh,
And
okay.
that's kind of when I just zoned out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that was my entire Hollywood adventure.
It's a really weird town, especially when you don't drive.
Yeah.
Because I'm there a lot now, and I feel very out of place. I mean, I like it because it's really warm and the Mexican food is awesome. And right now we have like 4 feet of snow here. I don't know what it's like in Toronto at the moment.
Yeah, roughly that.
Yeah, it's really bad. So going there is pretty cool, even when it's boring. It's warm. But it is like a weird city, and you're constantly driving by things where you didn't know they actually existed, or that it was maybe in a movie or something.
Yeah, you have a sense memory of it. Like, this feels familiar, but yeah, you don't know exactly.
Apparently, I've had shawarma in the restaurant where Joss Whedon and Samuel L. Jackson go to have shawarma. Or maybe it wasn't Samuel L. Jackson, maybe it was somebody else. But Joss Whedon really likes this shawarma place, and that's why it was in the Avengers.
Ooh, do they have like a sign there that said that?
You would think that they do, but they don't. It's just the shawarma place.
It's LA.
Yeah.
Because it's LA. They don't put the signs up.
No, they don't want you to know.
No,
It's this whole
of course
thing.
not.
So, Chip, you draw a comic.
I doodle. I dabble.
You dabble. You dabble in a comic called Sex Criminals.
Yeah.
That is your profession.
Mm-hmm.
Or a part of it.
Yeah.
So that's very exciting. And that the 10th issue of that just came out. And is the trade paperback of that coming out soon? Must be.
Yeah, it's got to be within the next couple weeks.
Cool.
I should be getting a whole stack of them this week. So
That's exciting.
yeah, wow, 2 trades.
Yeah,
Finally did it.
you finally did it, and you are one trade away from having a hardcover, just like Saga.
Yeah,
And I'm extremely curious if you guys are just it'll be done.
No, we're going to jump the gun on it. We're collecting the 2 trades into an oversized hardcover.
Oh, sweet. So is it? I've been really curious since the Saga hardcover came out, because obviously they went balls out and had the boob out. It's not like boob instead of balls, but boob out on that cover. So how do you guys feel like you're going to challenge that?
Yeah, we're just not.
You're just not. Oh, okay.
You know what? You think the boob out is the ballsiest move on that cover, but it's not.
What is the ballsiest move?
The fact that the back of it has nothing on it.
Does it really?
Like, nothing.
Oh, wow.
It's just blue.
Oh. I
remember I went to the comic shop and I saw it and I just started laughing. I'm like, how cocky is that?
That's really cocky.
Put out your book with nothing on it except for the breastfeeding on the front and the word Saga.
Mm-hmm.
Like, no one in a bookstore is ever gonna like unwrap that thing.
Oh yeah, I guess because a lot of the hardcovers are probably shrink wrapped. That's so funny.
Yeah, but it's that
is really ballsy.
It's so ballsy. And when I was at Image Expo, I got to talk to my good personal friend Brian K. Vaughan.
Oh yeah.
I call him K. Vaughan.
K. Vaughan, right?
And I said to him, like, you know, that's an insane move. Like, my instinct when I saw it was just to like start writing the plot of the book on the back of it. I'm like, why did you do that? He's like, you know, I'm just, boy, writing those is so hard. And I just got really lazy, so I just didn't do it. Like, what? That's amazing. Here I am thinking like, oh, he's just a genius. He's just like mic dropping on the book industry. But no, it's just kind of lazy.
Are you guys going to have the letters columns in the big supersized hardcover?
No, we talked about that, but I like the fact that they're just in the issues.
Oh, I do too.
Like, it makes them feel more special, yeah. And also it would just be like, I added it up and it'd be like 100 pages of just letters.
There are a lot. I mean, you guys have like 7 or 8 pages of letters in every issue at this point.
Yeah, it's a little crazy. So when you actually add them up, there's no way. So I think that they're just going to remain in the issues, and people have to buy the issues. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
That's fine. I mean, you know, there's enough printings of each one.
But I was going to say the cover of the collection, because it's called Big Hard Sex Criminals,
right? And
we designed it so the image eye is like the head of the penis,
right? Of course.
So that's our
okay.
How we're dealing with the breastfeeding gauntlet being thrown down.
So I'm going to back up for a brief second on the off chance that any single person listening to this doesn't know who you are or what Sex Criminals is, even though that would make no sense because I talk about it in basically every episode.
I appreciate it.
I do my best. I do my best. I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan. This shit's genuine, Chip. I got love. So Sex Criminals is a comic. I'm going to do it. I'm going to give the overview while you're right here. Right. It's a comic that your good friend and life partner, Matt Fraction, Okay. Well, a guy named Matt Fraction and yourself write and draw about a couple that when they have sex, or specifically when they have orgasms, because people usually say when they have sex, stop time, but I think that's really missing out on the subtle nuance.
It is, because I'm into edging.
Yeah, of course.
So yeah, it doesn't make a lot of sense for me. I haven't actually had an orgasm in like 3 years. So yeah.
Why would you? You had so much work to do.
Exactly.
I don't know. I prefer the suffering. So that is what the comic is about, is two people that when they have orgasms, they stop time. Obviously, spoilers, it's become more than two people. Sorry. We're up to issue 10. I can start talking about that stuff. It is an incredibly wonderful comic that also happens to be extremely focused on depression right now, which I'm also into. It's
People are so into depression.
Yeah.
Comics about depression just fly off the shelves. Everyone's talking about it.
It's great. You hook people with the dildo jokes and you keep them with the hardcore explorations of the sadder parts of the psyche.
It kind of sums up kind of my relationships.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah, I hook them with the dildo jokes. Then ta-da, here's some depression.
I feel that real hard. And in this comic, you'll see what I'm doing here, Chip. I'm queuing it up.
Okay.
In this comic, in these letters pages that I mentioned just moments ago, one time you had in issue 6, you featured a number of moms reading Sex Criminals.
They're my favorites.
And my mom was in there.
She's my favorite of the favorites.
Is she your favorite?
Yes.
Are you excited, Chip? I
am very excited. I'm nervous.
Are you nervous?
Yeah. You and I aren't dating.
No.
You know, your heart belongs to another.
Yes.
J-Lam.
I love that people are calling him that now. He was so excited. McKelvey tweeted that and he was just like, I have a nickname. He's such a precious angel.
But yeah, so it's like, but I'm still nervous to meet.
Yeah. Well, I've never had her on the show before, so there you go.
Well, so everyone's nervous here.
We're gonna make it happen.
Oh Jesus!
You ready, Chip?
Yeah.
All right, let's bring in my mom.
Okay.
We're gonna make magic happen right now.
Okay.
Oh, we're dialing. You can hear it.
Oh my God.
You can hear it.
Hi,
Mom.
Is this actually happening?
Hey, it's both of you.
Hi.
This is Adventures in Skype.
Yeah, we're all figuring it out. So Chip, meet my mom.
Hey.
Hi, Mom,
Hey.
meet Chip.
Can I call you Kate's mom, or should I call you Mommy, or should I call you
can
K-Mom?
me- Well, my name is Suze.
Okay,
But you can call me Mommy if it really cranks your boat there.
Suze is a bit too familiar for me. I'm going to call you
Okay.
Mommy.
Okay,
call you
that's
Mommy.
fine. It's going to have to change when we get married, though.
Nope, absolutely not.
So she's
You
just going to
clearly
be
have no insight into my
Mommy
past
Zdarsky.
No. Not beyond what I read in what you write, so.
I'm sorry.
It's fine. Mom, Matt writes the words, Chip draws the pictures.
Oh,
but
I'm so sorry.
Chip's responsible for, I think, a lot of the filthier visual jokes.
Mm.
I think?
Yeah.
Is it right to give you credit for that, Chip?
Yeah, that is accurate. That's accurate.
Okay.
I'm responsible for the filthy stuff. I'm so sorry, Mommy.
That's okay. That's probably some of the most enjoyable.
Oh, you.
Oh, I know. What a scamp.
So
Kate, are you interviewing both of us?
I'm going to interview both of you. Well, not really interviewing both of you, but I'm just sort of stimulating the conversation. I feel really weird that I use that word now. My mom's here. Hi, Mom.
Hi, sweetie.
So this is my mom, everyone. My mom's name is Sue, although Chip will call her Mommy. I don't even like saying that word. I never really realized when I set this up how uncomfortable this would be for me. But I'm really glad that I'm making it happen, and I'm going to power through.
That's great. It's just you, me, your mommy. It's fine.
It's just not creepy at all.
No, definitely not. The fun part is Kate, do... Yeah, go ahead.
Kate, are you comfortable? I was going to ask you a lot of kind of questions about your sex life. Now, is that okay?
I don't have it.
If I just like ask detailed questions?
No.
Oh, okay. All right. No, I just, yeah. All right. Forget it.
Well, if you don't have the details, you can go online. Quite a bit of it is out there.
Oh, wow. Thanks, Mom. Thanks, Mom. Yeah, you can.
How does that make you feel, Mommy?
This is not what this is supposed to be about.
Is this when I tell you about the Coast's honor
God.
that they gave Kate?
I'm sorry.
The only time I've ever been, actually, well, the only other time I got one of those like most promising young people in Halifax awards, but the one everyone remembers is the time that I was voted one of Halifax's 10 most doable people.
Makes a mommy proud.
Oh,
really advanced
the
for a
Chronicle's
city
really gone
too
down,
to have that as a category, right?
Yeah. I had no idea. Halifax.
Yeah, I was right up there with Matt Mays and like Joel Plaskett, and then me as people that the Halifax wants to have sexy times with. So
So how do they determine like who is the top of the doables? Do they throw you all in like a ring and they ask you to just start having sex?
No,
I think it was a write-in vote.
Yeah, they have like a section that's just like who in Halifax is your biggest like crush kind of thing, and apparently I made the list.
Wow,
quite an accomplishment. I plan on using that on my visa application.
That and 250 will get you on the bus.
So, Mom, you are my mom.
Yes.
And you live here in town with me in Nova Scotia, and you've known me all my life.
Pretty much.
Yeah, most of your life.
Most of my life. And Chip, you are a comic artist and writer from Toronto. So now everyone knows all the details. There's not really much more to know. Everyone should know that my mom has a mohawk and is really cool. My mom has a weird following on Twitter on account of everything.
And I've known you all your life.
Chip, you've also known me all of my life.
Yeah, that should be mentioned. Very proud.
And my mom is a big fan of your comic, Chip.
Yep, it's true.
Yeah,
I actually just reread them. I have the issue that you guys signed for me framed up in my living room wall next to a birthday card that Kate drew for me and a picture of a llama in the back of a taxi cab.
Wow, that is a high honor.
It is.
It's very exciting. Mom was really happy when I brought that for her.
Yeah, it was
That's
awesome.
amazing. Well, we were voted most doable comic.
Yeah.
So it makes sense that you would gravitate towards it. Yeah.
That was a personal experience type thing, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I think you are. I mean, my mom's a cool mom. You're a cool mom.
Thanks.
But Sex Criminals is one of the few monthly comics that you read like on the regular.
I have a hard time describing it to people at work too. So I tend to do a very generic thing because a lot of the people I work with, I don't think would get it, if that's a viable expression. I tell people that it's about two people who, when they have sexy times, they can make time stop, and then they go and they do bad things to make money to help save the library. And people look at me like I'm from Mars, and they go, "Yeah, the weather's pretty bad today, isn't it?"
Yeah, I've given up describing it to people.
It is really hard because you can't. A lot of the people I work with probably wouldn't enjoy it. Not that I haven't tried to promote it. I did wear my Brimper shirt to work one day.
This is
Got
true.
away with it.
I tried so hard to convince Mom to do it, and she did it.
Brimper's even harder to describe to people. Like, at least a comic can kind of like sum it up, but then
yeah.
like when I wear my shirt out and somebody asks me about it,
I tend to just say it's from a comic. I don't really want to get into it with some people, but
I tell people it's a band.
Yeah, that's an awesome way to do it. I'll do that.
Yeah, no, it's this cool new band.
It's a long hair band too.
Yeah. Very provocative stage performance, but yeah. Like I rarely mention the book in public, and especially like if I'm going to a convention, States, if I'm going through customs and they ask me what I do, I always just tell them, oh, you know The Walking Dead? Yeah, I work for that company.
Yeah.
That's
That's
always
true,
works.
though. Yeah.
100% of customs agents are totally on board with The Walking Dead.
Yeah.
Isn't that funny?
Yeah, but it's a show for like security guys and cops because they're all imagining themselves in that situation.
Yeah.
Well, you know,
Like, oh
here's your
yeah, the
chance.
world ends. I'll be top dog and I'll have all my guns and stuff. So yeah, they're the best people to mention Walking Dead too. And you just coast on through security.
I always wear my Batman t-shirt because I feel like that's the thing that when people are like, oh, you work in comics, and then I point at my Batman shirt, they're like, oh, she's just a nerd.
Yeah.
And then nobody cares. Or if people have kids, they know what Adventure Time is, but if they don't know what I do or understand it.
Yeah, you're just stealing jobs from Americans.
Yeah, that's what we do. Professionally, we steal jobs from
Yeah.
Americans.
Well, I just go around and put anytime I find Kate's work at regular bookstores. Okay, we're not talking at comic shops, but at regular bookstores, I tend to put it up on the top shelf and facing out and that sort of stuff. But when people ask me what she does for a living, it's like, well, she's in the comics industry is basically as far as I get. So
that's pretty much it, because I do a lot of things kind of well instead of focusing on anyone.
No, but it's great. You've got a bunch of credits. So, and if somebody says like Fraggle Rock, everyone's like, oh yeah, I know what that is. Everyone says their hands. They're like, oh, they totally get that. Bravest Warriors,
Nobody knows what that is. That's fine.
Yeah, but like, because ever since I got the Howard the Duck gig.
Oh yeah.
Now I have something I can tell people.
Oh, Mom, did you not know Chip's going to be writing Howard the Duck?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I'm rebooting him for a new, sexier generation.
I think you just made my mom's day.
Oh, I think so. Oh my God, that's hysterical. I can't wait for that.
Yeah, me too.
You'll have to send me an advance copy.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Mom's
I'll
really
totally
trying
do
to
that.
milk you for benefits right now.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But yeah, ever since that was announced, like now everyone knows what I do.
Yeah.
Like I can mention that to anyone. They'll go, "Oh, okay, yeah." Like instead of having to describe sex criminals, I can just use Howard as my calling card now.
Yeah.
Yeah, as if it's like even more, I don't know, out there than sex criminals.
I know, that's the thing. It's like
ordinary or something, acceptable to them.
Mommy.
Yeah, Stu.
I just want to ask you, like this must be crazy for you watching over the past few years Kate blow up like this.
Oh, it is.
How does it feel?
It is so awesome. I am so impressed by this girl.
Oh, guys.
I cannot get over how she goes after what she wants and makes it happen. It blows me away. It really does. I'm extremely proud of her.
Oh.
So what's your earliest memory of Kate being creative either in writing or art?
Well, when she was little, the night that Elvis Presley's granddaughter was born, she sang all night.
What?
So I
didn't know that.
I don't know. You weren't very old, mate. I think you were under a year.
Wow.
And we got the little nursery monitor thing, right? And Elvis's granddaughter's being born, and you're out there talking to Elvis, blah, 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 blah. And then you sang, la, 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 la.
Oh,
like,
that's why. Is that where the thing where you're talking to Elvis?
That's exactly where it comes from.
That's so weird, because my mom would say that when I was a kid, when I was like babbling to myself, and I never knew what it meant.
Talking to Elvis. Plus,
That's
you also
amazing.
used to do operettas in the bathroom.
That's true. I still do.
Yeah.
I still sing in the bathroom a lot.
And the Barbie stories were very creative.
Well, this is the thing I always tell people, which I attribute to my lack of being a straight person, is that I never had Ken dolls when I was a kid, so I had Butch Barbies. So
Well, I know I wasn't allowed to have Barbies when I was little. My mother didn't like them.
yeah.
So I didn't have that type of toy to play with. So when you came along and you wanted a Barbie, I was like, yeah. You never asked for a Ken, so I never bought you one.
That seems pretty
I just
accurate.
figured that, you weren't interested, and there you go.
But I definitely did, because I remember specifically having one Barbie that I cut all her hair off, and she had a baseball uniform.
Yep.
And she was the boy
Yep.
when I was a kid. She was everyone's boyfriend.
Yep.
Yeah.
that.
That's amazing.
Yeah. That's really funny. I did not expect this interview to turn around. I actually have, so we have a Patreon, as many comics people do or podcast people do, and I asked people to pose some questions for either or both of you. So do you mind if I pose a few of them?
Go for it.
Yeah, I mind. I want to vet all questions. You know that.
Chip, it's too late.
You know, honey, you can just say no. Just say no. Isn't that what
Mommy.
the president's wife used to say?
I'll never say no, Mommy. All right, Kate, you can ask them.
Okay, so I'm going to ask you each a question, and then it can become a conversation. So, Chip, I will ask you a question. Don't start answering it until I ask Mom a question. Okay?
Wow, all right.
Please. Okay, we're going to do it anyway. So the question from this person named Matt asked a question. What are your favorite comics?
Can I answer this now?
No, you cannot.
No.
Hush.
No. Okay. No, sorry. That was my bad. All right, say it again.
The question was, what are your current favorite comic titles? And the question for my mom is basically the same. Or have you always, with also the caveat of have you always been interested in comics? And also they asked, Mom, they really want to know things from you. People really want to get to know you, Mom. Do you have any favorite superhero or science fiction movies? Let all of these questions meld together and just let the answers blossom forth from you in a very natural way. I shouldn't have done that. That's not a good way to interview people.
I've always liked comics. Always. As a kid, I mean, I've talked to Kate about this before. Brenda Starr.
Yeah.
Star Reporter, man. I followed that all the time. I never really did get into Apartment 3G, but it was out there, you know. Doonesbury. Oh my God, Doonesbury growing up was one of the best things
I remember
ever.
you always had those around, and I could not understand why you liked them because they were so sad.
I was
but they're
always
political.
Into Doonesbury. Yeah.
You know, I still have original Pogo books from when I was a kid that my mom bought. I don't know. I like anything. As far as the movie thing or sci-fi thing, I like anything sci-fi. I'm good.
You also really like The Far Side and Calvin and Hobbes too, because that's what you raised me on.
Oh yeah, we. It's funny that The Far Side's always been one of my big favorites because you just sort of seem to get exactly what he said, and everybody did. It was a common denominator for people from all different kinds of backgrounds, you know, and you knew that if they got The Far Side, that you could be okay hanging out with them. You know?
Yeah.
This is the way that I feel about sex criminals now. It's like
It's the way I feel about Garfield. So
it's true. Oh my God, we haven't even brought up Garfield. So Chip, obviously your answer to your favorite comic book is Garfield.
Well, I consider it more of a strip than a book.
That's true.
I'm
sorry.
Yeah. I mean, currently, I'm always really behind on comic.
Mm-hmm. I think everyone who makes comics is always behind on reading comics.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because they once you kind of start getting into it as a professional, and you make friends with comic creators, so you feel like you have to read all of their stuff, and so you kind of have to go through all that before you get to anything else.
Mm-hmm.
So besides like Matt and Kelly Sue stuff, which I love. Saga is kind of my top choice. It's funny, I bought the first trade back when I had to put together our first trade just because I knew it looked really nice, and I was like, I need to see how people did it. And so I picked it up and just like read it all in one sitting, and then immediately went back to the comic shop and bought volume 2 because it was so good. It's like candy. That series is like candy. Yeah, I love it.
It's really good.
Yeah.
Have I got you to read Saga, Mom?
No.
What?
No.
What a bad daughter.
I know.
I'm a failure as a human being.
Come on. Now she did. I got the second Black Sad for Christmas.
Oh, that's true.
Okay.
Even though I hinted a great deal for a lot more of Fatale, but
We'll get you some We'll get you Fatale.
that.
We'll get you Fatale. We were out of the volume that you needed next at work, so we went with Black Sad.
I love that. The volume I needed. And she thinks it's that. She does that. It's like, you need this. You need this. You really need to read this, Mom.
I'm like a greater comics pimp than I am
It's awesome.
a comics creator. I'm like, it is the greatest joy in my life. Like I was in secret headquarters in Los Angeles, and I started selling books to other people that were there. Just being like some guy looking at Saga, and I was like, you should really read that. It's really good.
Yeah.
I have a problem.
Is it weird for you not working at the shop anymore?
It's super weird because I came back from being in Los Angeles for a couple weeks, and because I have to pay full price when I'm there, because my comic book store is one of the greatest comic book stores on the planet, and I will always feel that way.
True. That is true.
But they have a thing where if you work there for any length of time, you get the staff discount for life.
Really?
It's awesome. It's just this. I mean, I think if you worked there for a day, it wouldn't count. But I was there for 4 years, so so going and buying 4 comic books and it being $20, I was just like, how do people do this? This is so expensive. So I only
now you
bought.
can write it all off.
Well, yeah, which is cool, but at the time, I still have to, spend the money. So I was picking up the bare minimum, and a lot of the time I would buy, like Jeremy and I were reading the same comics, so I would buy like 1 copy of The Kitchen and then leave it and then pick up another one when I came back here. So when I got back from LA this time, I went to the comic book store to buy a bunch of stuff, and it was super weird just walking in and being a customer.
So wait, back up. So now you're at the point where you guys can have like shared comic collections. Aww.
Oh, that's so sweet.
That's so sweet.
I like buying him comics. He's really nice.
It's
we'll
funny.
just have a whole section of the show where you guys ask me if he's treating me well and what his intentions are.
He better be treated.
No, I don't care. I don't
okay,
care.
good. Thanks, Chip. Thanks.
I was gonna say I was on vacation in Barbados last week, and
nice.
while I was there, I took one photo, and it was of a business card that just said turtles on it,
It said what?
and that was it.
Oh,
And then it just said turtles.
okay.
Took a picture of that, and then I posted it. And as I was posting it, I was looking at your Twitter feed, and you posted like a dozen photos from medieval times.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And I saw that, I was like, I'm in Barbados, and I posted one photo, and you go to medieval times with Jeremy, and it's just like, here's another shot of some knights and us kissing, and look at us, look how cute we are. Like,
We're really cute, okay? God.
You are. You
Yeah.
are. I'll give you that.
Medieval Times was amazing, by the way. I mean, I don't know how great Barbados was, but Medieval Times was pretty rad. A knight threw me a flower. So,
Aww.
ooh.
I don't know. Jeremy was quite perturbed.
I've been to medieval times maybe 4 times now.
This was my first time. So, it's pretty great.
They have one in Toronto, don't they?
Wow, it's exciting. Yeah. I've been to like bachelor parties there, birthdays there.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Did you hang out after the show?
A little bit, because I got my picture with the red knight who had thrown me the flower.
Does it turn into like, because in Toronto, after the show, it kind of turns into a little bit of a nightclub scene?
Really? Oh, this didn't at all. All the
Like
knights had babies and they were like going home.
Oh yeah, no, these nights in Toronto like to party. Like you can definitely tell, like this is their thing. Like after the show, they knock back a few, and then they try and pick up using all their knight abilities.
Wow.
Yeah.
I just love that. I mean, I would love to see a knight picking up a girl at a bar. I was like, what do you do for a living? Oh, I joust.
Yeah.
Yeah. No big deal. I'm a
I was
jouster.
Yeah.
Is it a jouster? Well, I guess it's just a knight. I don't know. I don't know the terminology that well.
Well, as long as he doesn't say he's a jester, because that would be wrong.
That's different. There are no jesters in medieval times. There was a cool lady that did horse tricks. So that was fun. Not like sexy horse. But it was fun. I have some more questions.
Okay.
Chip. A person named Baron. I don't know if that's a real name. I assume it is. That was a rude thing to say. Who is your favorite member of the Brady Bunch? Oh, Chip's not there anymore.
Do you even remember the Brady Bunch?
Chip's gone. Chip disappeared from the chat.
Oh, did he?
Oh my God. How does this keep happening?
Oh, he's still on my phone.
He's not on mine.
Oh, no. Chip, are you there?
Chip?
Yeah.
Hi.
There you are.
You disappeared.
I got booted.
You back?
I got booted. I'm sorry.
It's okay. We're here. It's fine.
Did you say something bad?
It must have been, yeah. Maybe it's because I'd gone 5 minutes without calling you mommy.
Yeah,
Ugh.
that's probably
That's
it.
got to be it.
There's
That's
a
gotta be
censor
it.
out there somewhere waiting for that.
I wish
Yeah.
that you wouldn't.
It really creeps her out.
Ugh,
Oh,
it's awful. Do you know that he thanked his mommy when he won an Eisner?
I think that's awesome.
But he said mommy.
yeah.
Well, I hope that you thank me when you win your Eisner. So
Whoa, okay, I'm gonna. If I ever do.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, you're going to say mom, right?
yeah, I'm gonna say
Because you're
mom.
so grown up.
Mm.
Chip, somebody asked on the Patreon thing who your favorite member of the Brady Bunch is. Is this related to something you had posted, or are they just weird?
That is related to absolutely nothing, and I have no answer because I've never seen it.
Perfect.
I was gonna say you can't even be old enough to remember the Brady Bunch.
No, I remember seeing the movie, like when they did that
Yeah.
kind of weird throwback movie, and I enjoyed it, but I don't remember anything except for the name Marsha.
Yeah, Marsha. But that was on when I was younger. So I mean, like, and I'm old, so that's a long time ago.
Yeah, it's all reruns.
Yeah. Well, I guess there is that out there. I don't watch that stuff, so
Mom watches crime. Mom watches crime shows.
She watches crime.
Oh, I'm afraid I'm a follower of dumb CSI shows and Criminal Minds and that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
But only because there isn't enough sci-fi on television that I get.
Yeah. Mom likes good sci-fi. It's great.
Yeah.
Which is, I've got to get you to read Saga. This is like, as soon as I get off the phone, I'm going to go and get you some.
Yeah.
You-
I feel like I've really let myself down here. So there were a couple of questions about Just the Tips, which is the book, the companion piece to Sex Criminals that came out just in time for the holidays, I believe.
have you had a chance to read that, Mommy?
Yes, I have. Actually, I read that Christmas Day. And then I
Aw.
reread it again last night just so that I would be more familiar with it.
Oh, wow, preparing for an interview. That's
Boning up.
nice. Yeah, so to speak.
I gave her that for Christmas, by the way, Chip.
I did.
Just so you know.
What a good daughter.
I am great. It's one of those presents that's like, here, let's never enjoy this together.
Yeah. Well, I'm reading it.
No, I don't
Christmas,
understand.
And I'm giggling and I'm laughing away. And she's like, I think I'm going to go in the other room now.
No, I mean, I don't know. You're obviously very cool, Mommy. And Kate, you're obviously very cool.
Yes.
But Kate, like you feel shy discussing sexuality around your mother? Is that what this is?
On a podcast, I think, maybe, where people listen. Maybe. Oh, no?
Well,
no?
they already know. Like, that's the
It's
thing.
true. It's true. I think, well, I mean, I did bring it up, and I brought it up because the question that was posed from Alicia was, Chip, are there any tips that you really liked that didn't make it into the book? And Mom, what tips were your favorite?
I really, 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 really like the one about grabbing and singing Christmas carols. That was my absolute favorite because it was just so out there.
Well, it's festive too, and you got it on
It
Christmas
is.
Day, so it probably
It is.
resonated.
I personally was very pleased that you put an Edward Scissorhands reference in Just the Tips. And I don't know if that was because of me, but I hoped. And I was very excited, and I pointed at it and showed it to Jeremy.
I can say, yeah, that was for you.
Yes.
I didn't. There's nothing that didn't make the cut, mostly because we forgot that we had to make the book.
So you would say that the book was uncut.
Oh, God.
Oh,
That's as bad as it's going to get. Go on.
yeah, yeah. Like, it was a dumb idea for us to do the book because there's just two of us putting out a semi-monthly comic. So the idea of taking time off from that to put out a book of dirty jokes is probably not the smartest business move. So yeah, the deadline snuck up on us, and we just it was like 2 weeks of just like all-nighters and just like coming up with as many jokes as we could. So there's nothing that didn't make the cut. Like, Matt and I are pretty good with the comic in terms of like, we know the limitations. Like, we know what we can write and can't write.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so there's rarely any kind of editing. Like, a lot of people ask that about the comic itself as well. Like, are there any like porn titles or situations that you wanted to put in, but the joke was too like risque or whatever? I'm like, no, we're grown men. We understand like what works and what doesn't work in a comic.
Right.
If I was younger, I may have made that mistake, like put something in that I kind of later regret. But yeah, we're old men. So yeah.
I still think one of my favorite things that's ever been in the comic was the Iron Throne of dildos. I laughed so hard when I got to that page that my roommate came into my room to ask me if I was okay. Like, it was a piercing shriek of a laugh. And I'll go back. I mean, this is before the podcast. This is a long time ago. Because when did issue 1 come out? Because it's not quite monthly.
No, definitely not. It's September of last year.
Like the year before?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I got that issue, and I remember I was really excited to read it, just because I liked Fraction stuff. And Chip, I didn't know you from a hole in the ground, and now look how far we've come. But
I'm the hole in the ground that you know.
I was not familiar with your body of work, and
absolutely familiar with this hole in the ground.
I'm absolutely familiar with this hole in the ground. And I brought it home, and I was sitting on my roommate Logan's bed, and he was playing video game of some kind. And I was reading it, and he made me leave because I was laughing so hard that it was annoying. And I get this from my beautiful mother, that I laugh very loudly. Because we both do.
Never, ever hide your laughter. I've worked in the finance industry for a great deal of my life, including in the public for some of it, where very often I was told to calm the F down because my laughter was annoying other people. But, you need to laugh. I think it's awesome. So, great. Sorry, that was quite a diversion.
No. That's beautiful. It's beautiful. We can throw... Look, there can be some deep stuff in here. It's fine. But I remember just being like, this is like, I've never read anything like this. And I think that's what was so fun for me, because it just feels so much to me like you and Fraction kind of sat down and just went, fuck it. Let's just do the weirdest thing and just have fun. And I know there's so much work, obviously, that goes into it than that, but it's, I don't know. It's so great.
I've probably mentioned to you before just the fact that we assumed it would be canceled after 3 issues.
Right.
Like when we started, because we started talking about it like a long time before it came out, and it changed a lot as we were talking about it. And after we finished issue 1 and kind of sent it to the printer, I was on the phone with Matt, and he said, like, okay, so just so you know, this is probably only going to last 3 issues, and we'll have to pay for issue 4 out of our own pocket, and 5 as well, and maybe convince Image to put a trade out. I'm like, yeah, I get it. Like, there was like no doubt in our mind that it was going to fail.
Wow.
It's just like, yeah.
Unlike
because of the fact, because kind of one of two things happens when you do something that there's not a lot of out there.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're not fitting into a kind of a well-worn, successful mold.
Mm-hmm.
No one's going to buy it.
Yeah. Well, I think it kind of paved the way for a lot of stuff.
Or it's fresh and interesting. And
yeah.
What's that? Sorry?
I said I think it sort of paved the way for people to have that idea of like, well, I can do this weird thing.
Yeah.
I mean, I love so much now that I can go on a Wednesday and get and ask for both. Well, all 3 of Adventure Time, Sex Criminals, and Bitch Planet.
Yeah.
It's a great triple threat, but I think it's so neat to just kind of go, okay, we're gonna do this thing that there's literally no analytics out there for how well this is gonna do, because who knows.
But that's great.
So...
I mean, I read a lot. I read everything.
Mom is
there are like
brutal at
5
Scrabble.
plot lines in the entire world, and they just get rehashed and reused. And my family used to stop watching movies with me because I would go, "Yeah, he did it."
Yeah, this is the worst.
Or they're going to do that or whatever. This was so out there and so enjoyable because I didn't have a clue what was coming. So I really, sorry, I didn't
Kate,
know
your
how
mommy
it
just
was
made
going
a coming
to.
joke.
I know. I know, and I'm going to have to live with that.
Fantastic.
Ugh.
But it was great, because of that very reason. I didn't know where the plot line was going to go. I didn't know how the characters were going to interact. It was a totally new idea to me, so it was great. I love it.
Yeah, I mean, the genesis of it has kind of like played out the same way as it did at the beginning, which was it's a comic that Matt writes to make me laugh and that I draw to make Matt laugh.
And it really
Like,
feels that way.
Yeah. It's a conversation we're having kind of on the page. Like I hate sending him stuff before all the jokes are on the page. Like sending him just the black and white or whatever before I throw in like the colored jokes. Like I'm like, no, I want to surprise him with this, I want it to be a full reveal at the end.
Like the weird little signs in the background and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's all stuff like that is like, those are all for Matt.
It's so great, too, because, Mom, I haven't gotten you to read. Mom doesn't know Kieran and Jamie yet. No. We haven't broached that.
Oh, that's fine.
We haven't got her into the Wicked and the Divine. I don't know if you would be into it, Mom. But there is an ongoing comics war of sorts between Sex Criminals and the Wicked and the Divine. And there's a whole bunch of background jokes about this other comics duo working for the same publisher that are also friends. And
I don't know about friends, but acquaintances.
Well, I can tell you that I have been mentioned in the letters columns of both comics.
Yeah.
Except in Kieran's, he just disses me. So that's fine. That's fine. At least in Sex Criminals. What did they say? That someone should come into my room and rearrange my belongings? And that was Matt. That was great.
That's Matt. Yeah.
It's great. But yeah, there's all that kind of like background joke stuff. But I love that. I mean, it takes me forever to get through the issues because I go so slowly and look at all that stuff, and it's awesome.
Yeah, and part of that is Matt and I both suffer from the same kind of crippling guilt over people buying our work. So we feel like we have to like pack it as full of content as possible. Because like whenever I'm working on a page, I'm like, I don't know if this is worth people spending $350 on. And so I just kind of keep going and going. It's so dumb. I got to get over that, but I just can't.
You would think that you would be to that point by issue 10, and being Time's best comic of the year, like.
No. There's one thing I've learned over the past year is that any kind of success doesn't alleviate any guilt or anxiety or
that is
anything.
Absolutely true. Yeah. Because
now instead of worrying about like not making it, you're worried about losing it.
Right. I'm definitely feeling that.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm obviously not at that level, but I get the same kind of just like, any day this could vanish.
Yeah. I mean, but the trick is to kind of make peace with it. Like I was talking to my girlfriend the other day about this. Like if it all came crashing down tomorrow, like just all like 100% of people buying the book before just stop buying it. I'm like, I'm fine. Like it was a good run. Like I can go back to the newspaper, work there. I can get some odd jobs here and there. Like this has been a good experience, and whatever happens beyond this is just like gravy. Really.
I feel that that's not really the case though, because you're now doing Howard the Duck. You're writing that, and you're writing another Image series with Kagan McLeod, who is amazing. I'm so excited for this.
He is the best illustrator in Canada.
He's amazing. Sure. He's unbelievably good. And you told me a little bit about it ages ago when it was sort of, I think, first being the ideas were just coming together. But you're calling it Gay Saga.
Yeah, that's how we're selling it.
You're selling it as Gay Saga.
Yeah, I'm real good at marketing.
Hey, I'm in the same boat.
Yeah. The thing everyone loves, it's exactly like that, but it's super gay.
That's how I'm selling Bravest Warriors. It's like Adventure
Yeah.
Time, but you're allowed to be gay.
Yeah. Because
So,
it's fine.
I mean, sell it to my mom a little bit.
How do I sell this? Oh my God, I'm so bad at selling stuff. I
No,
realize that
you're
like
great at
even when
selling
I
things.
even when I announced it on stage, I was just like fumbling through it. I'm like, oh, I don't know. People buy this? Maybe. Yeah, it's essentially just kind of like a science fiction Wizard of Oz style story on an alien planet. Kind of like the Island of Dr. Moreau
Mm-hmm.
meets like He-Man, like all the action figures I played with as a kid. Like whenever you
All
play
right.
with
Okay.
toys, whenever you play with toys as a kid, like you would always kind of cross them over.
Yeah.
Like Barbies could play with GI Joes and play with your He-Man figures, with your Cabbage Patch dolls. And so the
hated
idea
those
is that it's
things.
an entire. Oh yeah,
They
I told you
must
about
have
the
always
one
been the monsters. That's all I can say. Anyway, sorry.
not Cabbage Patch Kids.
Mom was
Never.
really into Godzilla. We had a lot
Never
of Godzilla
think so.
figures,
Oh,
never
okay,
Cabbage
yeah.
Patch dolls.
But yeah, when you play with them all as kids, like I've now kind of pictured it as a planet where all of those various characters and types of toys have little countries on this planet. And so it's a Wizard of Oz story that takes place across the planet. And and the main character is a young gay Indian man just looking for love and adventure, and yeah, it's gonna be fun.
Yeah, it sounds
It's mostly an excuse to do ludicrous jokes.
great.
Good.
Listen, everything.
Yeah, because the artists on it, we used to share a studio with a bunch of other guys, and we would pass around a studio sketchbook and just kind of one up each other, like telling a story, like making it as ludicrous and funny as possible. And he was by far the funniest and the best artist. And so this is me just going, hey, we should just do that and try and sell it to people too.
It's
that's
just such a
great.
good method of doing things, I think.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, and then I kind of have the same outlook that Matt and I had on Sex Criminals, which is, we'll have 3 or 4 issues and then we'll just wrap it up.
I don't think that you can think that way anymore, though.
I always think that way.
I guess it's safer. I don't know. I mean, I know
My
that I would
assumption
feel
is-
that way.
My girlfriend. Yeah, my assumption is that my girlfriend of 10 years is going to leave at any moment. She's just going to walk out the door.
But then my mom finally gets a shot, so
Yeah, maybe that's why I'm always thinking this.
Well, I mean, that's why her name is Susie, right?
Yeah,
Oh,
exactly.
in the
It's
book,
like I
because my
knew.
mom's name is Sue as well.
It's like
so-
I
yeah.
knew.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
This
knew
is
in
fate.
advance.
Yeah.
It's fate.
total fate.
Total something.
Yeah, Jessica. My girlfriend doesn't even read Sex Criminals.
Oh, no.
Oh, not her thing.
Well, I guess that's all right.
Yeah, I know it's totally fine, but I'm just saying, like, maybe I should get the hell out of here. To Halifax.
Jeremy doesn't really feel
No,
like
do not
Bravest
take
Warriors or Fraggle Rock, so I mean,
And you're cool with that?
I think like he reads everything because he's awesome,
Yeah.
and sweet. But I think it's definitely like Edward Scissorhands is more. There's more
Yeah.
meat to
Makes
it.
sense. Yeah.
Bravest Warriors is just like I just do whatever the hell I want, and
Yeah.
it's really weird. And I was saying, I saw someone online the other day trying to connect like all these different plot points from the comic to the TV show to try and like unearth all these truths. And I
Really?
was just like, I just make it up. I don't know. The show doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
I think that's how the Book of Mormon came to be, too. So there you go.
Yeah.
Like not the musical, but the actual Book of
The
Mormon.
actual book itself. It's just somebody out there with a bunch of stuff they wanted to say.
Yes.
That's how most things happen. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. So I mean, that's really different. I don't know. So I think that's the extent of the question. A lot of people just wanted on this little interview thing wanted to tell you, Mom, that you're really cool.
So bizarre. It is so bizarre. I went to buy gas last week,
Yeah.
and this young woman in the sidecar of a motorcycle, which was just awesome because it was the dead of winter and it was one nice sunny day and they had the bike out in the sidecar and everything. Anyway, she's like, "You're Kate's mom."
Oh my god.
Yeah.
This hasn't really happened to Jeremy yet, but I keep telling him, like, this will happen to you because you will be somewhere and someone will just be like, you're Kate's boyfriend, and then ask you something really weird. Because, a couple of years ago, the guy I was dating, that would happen to him. And this, obviously, more people are aware of my existence now than then. So he's just like, yeah, I'm cool with it. Because he is, of course, very cool. But
bizarre.
I can't even, I don't even know what I would, it's so weird.
Yeah, like my girlfriend, she's like has limited exposure on social media.
You've kept her very well protected from the weirdos.
Yeah, because I recognize she broke up with me on Facebook years ago.
Oh, okay.
Like she didn't break up with me, but she was just like, I don't know, I posted some dirty joke, as I am wont to do. Mm-hmm. And she had a job. She was like an editor-in-chief of a magazine, and she broke up with me on Facebook. And she was like, yeah, I can't have people linking you to me anymore.
That's reasonable.
So no, that's totally fair.
So she's ashamed of you.
What's that?
So she's ashamed of you.
She's ashamed of me.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good.
And I totally get that because I'm also ashamed of me.
Well, no, I don't know, because Facebook is like, I don't know. Facebook is out there. Everybody's on Facebook. It's like, and we get emails at the financial institution for which I work, probably once a month at least, reminding us that our presence on social media can and may be monitored by our employer, and that we are not allowed to say certain things or do certain things, which is I find, this is the whole free speech thing, right? Like, yeah. But so I immediately took my employment information off.
Yeah.
Well, anytime I refer to you online, it's just mom.
Yes.
Like,
or mommy.
Mommy.
Someone's going to be able to make a super cut of just every time in this episode you said that, and I just went, ugh. Shriveled up into my own body.
It's just a really good thing they can't see your face.
Oh, yeah. Especially when you were going on about how wonderful I am earlier.
It's a good thing they can't see my face when I say the word mommy.
You're probably gagging just as well.
Yeah, it's a different type.
Oh, God.
What's wrong?
Why did I
Kate?
do this?
What's wrong, Kate?
Nothing.
This was your idea.
I'm sorry. I flew too close to the sun. So,
anyways, I'm glad there's a lot of questions and people just saying how cool Kate's mommy is, and no one said anything about me.
Everyone
No one said
thinks
I'm
you're
cool.
Chip. You know that. You're the internet's favorite swarthy Lothario. So.
Lothario, ew.
Swarthario, if you will. I didn't know there were a couple questions. Somebody asked you about how you felt about the Super Bowl halftime show, but I will suspect that neither of you watched it.
Nope.
You are correct.
Okay, that's what I figured.
Sportsing things.
A guy named James, whose icon is a dog, so I assume that he is in fact a dog that has learned to use a computer. If you prefer cats or dogs, which is not related to comics, but
rabbits.
I was just thinking this today.
Oh, you were just thinking about it today?
That I like both cats and dogs equally. I was actually going for a walk. I was like, I like cats and dogs equally. And that was my big thought for the day. And then I started thinking about bisexuality. I wondered if that plays into it at all. Like, if my feelings towards women and men, like,
I feel ambiguous about cats
equates
and dogs. I like them both. I like my cat. I would have a dog. I don't know. It's sort of my approach to life in general. They're good.
I like rabbits.
My mom has a rabbit. It's very cute. So I end every episode asking people what their favorite comics are that they're reading right now. And Chip, I know you're a little bit behind. And Mom, I know that you are reading little bits here and there. But do either of you have things that you would like to recommend to our fair readers or each other?
Well, I love the look of the Black Sad comic. I love it. But then I'm really into noir stuff. So I would have to say that other than anything my daughter has written, drawn, thought about, or, dreamed of, that's probably my favorite right now. Sorry, Chip.
Mom.
No, I get it. That's fine because I was going to recommend Sex Criminals. I'm really into it. It's a fun story, relatable characters. The art's so, but once you get past that, it's a fun read.
I really enjoy it. I really enjoy it.
Well, that's good.
Thanks.
I'm glad.
I did like a big shopping trip to the comic store, and so I've just kind of started a few books. I finally picked up Lock and Key.
Yeah.
Just because everyone talks about it, and I've gone through the first couple of issues, and it's really good.
It's
People
amazing.
are right.
It's one of the best comics out there. It's how I got into making comics. It was the first comic I was printed in.
Really?
Yep.
Yeah, the back of Lock and Key was my first printed comic.
I have one.
It's true. She does. They're super limited edition now.
Ooh.
But that's so great. Yeah, it's really, really, really good series. I love it. And beautiful. Gabriel Rodriguez is like a beast. I don't understand how he draws. He's so good.
Yeah, it looks pretty fantastic. Besides that, I've been getting some like advanced PDFs of books, so I can firmly say that the Criminal Oversized Magazine by Ed and Sean is super good.
Yeah.
Super good.
You should read those too, Mom, because they're the same team that make Fatale.
Oh, yum.
Yeah, I do like crime. Like they're reissuing all the criminal books.
Oh, awesome.
The last one is my favorite because it's based on Archie comics. So it's basically what if...
So good.
How is it again? Because it was like one of the first books that I read when I started working at the comic book store. Or I was like a year into working there. But it's like a retelling of Riverdale as if it were a murder mystery.
Oh,
and
cool.
Like, you know, the Jughead character is a junkie, and it's like it's as if Archie wanted to murder Veronica for her money and run away with Betty, and that's like so they all have different names
big
and everything.
Windows with rain outside.
Yeah. It's great. It's really, really great. But they're all really good. I mean, each book is like a self-contained noir story.
Yeah. If you're big into crime stuff, you'll love them.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're really good.
Same writer-artist team as Fatale and The Fade Out, which is the new one that's not collected yet. Yeah. But that one's like an old Hollywood noir, so I think you'd like that too, Mom.
Mm-hmm.
You love that stuff.
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah, it's really good.
I can tell you all of the times that Archie varied from the norm, but I won't do that because I've done it almost every episode of this podcast. I have a lot of feelings about Archie. I don't know how you get into writing Archie comics, but it's like all I want to do.
You just contact them.
Oh,
I don't know. I keep telling you this.
Do
If
that.
you just want something, you just contact people.
I know, but I can't. I'm so scared.
Like your methodology. I see your methodology of getting comics work, which is to say on Twitter that you want to do it.
Yeah, and then they ask me to do it.
Yeah, but sometimes the people aren't there.
Sometimes it doesn't work.
Yeah.
Well, it's because that's how I got into doing it. Was so accidentally that the idea of going through the regular process of actually applying for things and that's so terrifying.
It's not like you have to fill out paperwork to talk to people.
Chip, you'll be very proud of me. I pitched my first original comic the other day.
That's great.
Yay!
I did it.
Awesome.
I did it. I found an artist and I put together a pitch and I sent it to a publisher. So we will see what happens, but I did it.
You say?
I know. I'm not going to say.
Awesome.
All right.
Is Chip in it?
Chip's not in it. Chip's
Am I in
not involved. I haven't been involved in Chip's comic yet, so he has to make the first move.
Sorry. I almost forgot. I was just talking to Matt before this, and this is the official announcement of you as a cover artist for Sex Criminals.
Yes!
Yay!
Finally,
we're starting to put together the team. We're doing for the next 5 issues. We're doing XXX variants for each one, which will be polybagged and like pink polybags. So
I get to get really filthy with it.
As filthy as you possibly can.
Oh my god!
I may not frame that one.
I'll give you a little black electrical tape that you can cover all the dirty
but I
bits.
may not frame it.
It's going to be the kind of thing like we're not even going to solicit the cover artwork. Like if people want to see what's on the cover, they have to buy the comic.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so excited.
Yeah. So you're one of the 5.
Oh yes! I'm so excited! Yay!
So,
hooray!
yeah.
Well, that is great. That is so exciting.
Yeah. I was going to say about Archie. I can say this about Archie right now. I've talked to the people at Archie. They're just regular people. Like the president of Archie is like a guy who was like a graphic designer or something there.
Well, like I know Dan Parent.
Yeah.
Like we're friends, but I don't know how to be like, let me write Josie and the Pussycats and make them all gay, please.
Yeah,
That's all I want to do. I just want them to be a Riot Girl band.
I'll give you the contact info.
Okay.
Like,
Everything scares me, Chip.
Oh my
Everything's
god, that's what this whole thing's been about?
No, that's not what this is about. Oh, now I look terrible. I could have emailed him for
I'm
this.
just kidding you. Really.
Look, it's if there's one thing I've realized over the years, especially having worked at the newspaper, because at the newspaper, the one thing everyone has to get over is the idea of contacting people.
Yeah, it's really terrifying.
Because you can't write a story without doing that.
Yeah.
Like you have to be able to pick up the phone and even be like confrontational with people. And so I think that's helped me a lot in comics because whenever I want to do something, I just ask somebody.
Yeah.
Like I recognize everyone as just being like just regular Joes. They're all fucking nerds.
Well, I've done that. I mean, I've done that for a thing in Marvel. Like, there's a thing that I keep being like, hey, still want to do this. And they keep being like, yeah, no, for sure, eventually. So I just, every like 2 months, I'll just email and be like, just a reminder, if you hire anyone else to write this property, I will burn down your offices because no one would be better at this than me.
Okay, well, you should stop threatening our...
I don't... No, that's like the undertone. That's like the sub email that they can't read, but it's there.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. The thing is, like, once you actually have like enough kind of fishing lines cast out there, you don't care when one doesn't bite.
That's fair.
Because someone else is going to. Like I always have like 6 projects that are just like floating out there. And half the time I forget about them until someone gets back to me and goes, hey, yeah, we're interested. I'm like, oh, okay, sure.
Cool.
Like, even with the Howard the Duck thing, like
Mom's really excited for that, I can tell.
I can't wait.
It even sounds weird.
It
sounds weird to me when I say it. But like, I at no point was I emotionally invested in the idea of getting that job. Like, I didn't even really think that I was doing it until they announced it. And I'd already actually written a script. Like, it was just kind of like this fun back and forth. Like, yeah, I'll come up with some ideas. Yeah, this sounds fun. That's a good artist. Yeah, sure. And there was no point where I was just like overwhelmed by the idea of it because it was just another job.
Well, guys, I'm going to start to wrap it up.
If that makes sense, right?
We've talked for ages. Oh, it totally makes sense. I get it. We move towards the end because I've talked to both of you for. I wish this was forever. Honestly, I wish this was my whole life. Just you.
Well, you'll have to come to Halifax, Chip, and we'll go to the Foggy Goggle and drink Kate Leff's.
That's true.
Yes,
there is a drink named after me at the bar.
Yes, absolutely.
And yak our brains.
Yeah, I'm supposed to do something with Strange Adventures. I was supposed to do something over the summer, but
you got to come up. You got to try and come here when I'm not in Los Angeles. Which is like never, but sometimes. I'm here right now.
Yeah.
But even
when are you going back?
I go back in a week and a half.
How many hours?
2 weeks, I guess. 2 weeks. It's in 2 Tuesdays. So yeah, then I go back. It'll be fun. We get to go to Texas.
Before you kiss your Jeremy, kiss your J-Lam on his lips.
Okay, it's fine. He's nice. He's really nice. He likes your comic a lot, Chip.
Aw.
He thinks you're nice.
He seems like a sweet dude.
He is the best dude.
He's very attractive.
That he is. He is very handsome. He is like a Disney prince that is goth on the inside. The most goth. He's so goth. He listens to death metal and has like a horror book shrine in his house. And like, I just dress black, but I listen to Taylor Swift all the time. So we really balance each other out.
Aw, that's cute.
It's very nice.
Yeah.
So Chip, is there anything that we should know that you're doing other than those things? Are you going to any shows in the upcoming months, or are you just working?
I'm just working until C2E2, which is, I think, in April. It looks like I also have like a London and Dublin trip kind of getting lined up right now.
Are you going in September?
No, it's going to happen
okay.
sometime in April, I think.
Damn.
Just for some comic shops.
That's cool, though.
And,
That's very exciting.
yeah, like I've just started drawing issue 11.
Oh, wow.
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 So I'm kind of like hunkered down just doing that.
Mm-hmm. I'm really sad that you're not going to be at Emerald City.
Hunkered down.
Really sad, but it's
Hunkered
fine.
down. I'm sorry, where?
So, have they had an announcement date for Captara #1 yet?
Yeah, it's coming out, I believe, April 20th
Cool.
is the date. And
It's just
the
shortly
art is
after Mom's
amazing.
birthday.
Aw.
Mom's birthday is the 6th of April. It's exciting. Make sure.
That's my girlfriend's birthday.
Really?
Yeah.
Written in the stars.
I told you.
Wow.
So
That's crazy.
I'll do my wrap up bit. Chip, Mom, you don't really have social media, so I will spare
Yeah, why
you from
not?
this bit because she has a real job.
I don't
You should
have
get
a
on
Twitter
Twitter.
account, but I have a Tumblr account.
That's true.
I think you need to get on Twitter.
Oh, I don't have
No.
time for Twitter.
Don't go on Twitter. Please, God, don't join
And, you
Twitter.
know,
I really think. Yeah.
Exactly.
Please
Parents
don't.
have to give their children some
Thank
space.
you.
You know what?
Thank you.
I'll start the account up. I'll maintain it.
No, we follow each other on Tumblr, and that's fine, but we're not Facebook friends, and we don't follow each other on Twitter.
Whenever you want to write a
on
tweet, I'll give you the
Facebook.
password to your account, and
Yeah.
I'll fill in the rest.
I have a secret Facebook account so that
Ooh.
weirdos, the only randos, like the only weird randos that ever add me on Facebook are through Chip's account. I swear to God, every time I get some weirdo, it's always, you have one mutual friend, Chip Zdarsky. Every
So I
time.
have a friendship on Facebook to get to you on Facebook.
No, we
Is that how
can't.
this works?
Oh, I've talked myself into a hole. Chip, if people want to find you on Twitter, you are at Zdarsky.
Yep.
Where
I'm on Tumblr at Zdarsky.
Zdarsky?
I'm everywhere as Zdarsky. It's a good thing about having a weird sounding fake name.
Completely real last name.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, I guess that's kind of it. Do either of you have any parting thoughts or wishes or proclamations to make before I let you venture softly into the night?
Kate, I love you. I
love you as well.
Kate's mommy, I love you. I look forward to downing a Kate Leff in Halifax.
Oh God.
Yeah, that should be a really interesting evening.
Yeah, I think I'll have a lot of fun. I think it's gonna be a lot of fun.
I'm excited for you to
It's
to
booked.
visit. It's booked.
All right, perfect.
All right.
All right, I'll put the call to Strange Adventures. I'll get out there.
Please do it. Just get
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
Come
Yeah.
on. It's
You're
gonna be
not
great.
that far away.
Come on.
It's true. It's true.
You have quite a fan base here of people that I've sold your comic to. That I have
Sweet.
forced it on.
I should really be hoping that like your comics career just like crashes, so you end up going back to that shop and selling my stuff.
I was really good at that, right? I'm really good at selling other people's comics.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. Well, I hope that you both have a wonderful and magical evening. Thank you, Mom, so much for putting up with this weirdness, and Chip for doing the same.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. And I will talk to you both very soon, I'm sure.
Alrighty.
Good night.
Love you.
Good night.
Bye.
I know that you want to the pages inside my heart.
Well, that's our show, and wasn't it a show? We miss you so much, and we're so far behind, on top of it, that we're recording another episode in literally days. When it gets to you, we'll see. We're going to be talking to Ryan North and Erica Henderson, the dream team behind The Unbeatable Squirrel Girl. Like I told you, I'm telling you again. But in the meantime, you can rate and review us on iTunes and Stitcher. If you like the show and want to make sure that Mom and Chip stay proud of me, consider donating on villagesoundcast.com or through our Patreon at patreon.com/lessthanlive. If you've got any questions or want more, you can find us on Facebook, on Twitter at LTLcast, and you can get the show notes after the show at lessthanlivecast.tumblr.com. Remember, you can submit to our selfie contest at lessthanlivewithkateordie@gmail.com or on Twitter at LTLcast, although in the email it's a little more official and you're less likely to get lost. And you're running out of time, so get on it. Take your pictures, dress up, impress me. Keep your head up and stay warm, everybody. I'll miss you.
Listen up.
Amnesia Forgetful Face. This was a Village Soundcast Network original production.
Well, can I just tell you that?
Oh, Mom, you're talking through a tube right now.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I honestly, you sound like you were talking into a Go-Gurt tube right now.
I'm sorry.
So I don't know what happened.
There we go.